Well, at least the screen's okay. So, looks like we're jumping into it. Or more accurately, throwing into it. Alright, so Hulk has your two basic throws. A ground throw when close, using either standing fierce or strong. And an air throw when you're next to the opponent, also using strong or fierce. Each one does solid damage. The ground throw is good at slamming a character down right next to his feet in the corner, so you can try for an OTG, and maybe slide into some style. While the air one can be either used raw, or sometimes at the end of an aerial combo, though with the right elevation there might be a possibility to continue a little something after you dunk them on the ground. Keep a throw always ready in your back pocket, especially for those turtle fans. But try to be rando, so they don't smack you in the mouth while you're getting all huggy. Speaking of throws, and to capitalize on just one more segue, why don't we swing on over to the first of something kinda special. Gamma Tornado, half circle back, punch. Hulk's command grab that's not really a command grab. What is that? Well, it's a command grab that can be blocked. So, it's not that pure primo grappler kind of grab. And it can also be tagged. However, it's not a bad option for comboing into, which we'll get into that in a little bit. There's 3 strengths to this loopy throw, using the jab, strong, or fierce punches. The heavier the punch, the further you throw, the more damage it do. But also, the heavier the throw, the startup is slightly delayed. Them's the trade-offs for the slinging. This special also does something that's been dubbed the flying screen effect, which means depending on where you are, you'll toss the opponent and they'll go sailing across the stage where the camera will follow them, and then Hulk jumps in from the side as they land. This is basically like a reset to neutral, where you can't pursue for a combo immediately after. Though, if you're in a corner, or close to it, and whip up a Gamma NATO, no flying screen. Think that can set you up for something later? Gamma Slam. Anyway, Gamma Lift. Down, down. 3 punches. This special could be more than just a projectile, considering Hulk only has 2 low normals, part 1, remember? If you're near him and you perform the Gamma Lift, this technically picks up the slack for a 3rd option. It's also a guaranteed knockdown if they don't block. You definitely want to try to confirm into it, instead of raw lifting, strictly because of the recovery of this. But you knock him down with this one, and you could get him into an OTG situation, ripe for a combo cameo. Using the Gamma Lift as a projectile? It's not a go-to special, bruh. But if you do, the jump light kick version is by far the fastest. Just remember, after you pick up that hunk of floor, you can't block till you chuck it. Gamma Slam. Alright, look. You could use this for a hard knockdown as well. But that move as a whole, fam, damn. It's okay, big baby boy, you alright. You don't need that move anyway. Not while we... And here it is. The special of specials. Gamma Charge. Hold the direction for a second, then another direction plus kick. So prime, it ought to be a crime. Cause you can straight up rob rounds with this thing, you hear me? Just like the Tornado, if you use a heavier button, it's gonna be stronger and travel further. But there's more delay. And it's also important to note, the recovery window is larger with heavier kicks. This does make it dangerous for you to just raw Gamma Charge, because they can easily block and then punish. But if you play it smart and confirm into that baby, oh, how sweet it is. Because not only can you hit them with it, knock them down, maybe try for an OTG, you can just plow forward again with an immediate follow-up using a direction and a kick to just tack on some guaranteed hurt. And what kick button you use on the second also affects the distance and damage slightly. The vertical one can be utilized as an anti-air or for certain combo opportunities, but it might be good to try for an anti-air normal and then cancel into a vertical gamma charge for a little insurance. Now, there is another move besides specials that you can cancel into if you just happen to want to go all out with your rock out. The Big Bad Gamma Crush, quarter circle forward, and 2 punch buttons. As long as you got one stockometer, you can take off to go find your favorite Escalade-sized boulder and share it with the character of your choice. You thought the
"Let's rock"
voice line was just air? Man was spitting a legit promise. By the way, do we have confirmation of where he gets that thing? Asteroid, Floating Zelda Island, Pandora? But seriously, this super can be a little tricky to aim sometimes, especially if you're just gonna try to tap him with the second hit. The damage potential though, nice. And yeah, this can be used as an anti-air as well. But something tells me you ain't here just for a one and done kind of snack. Not when there's combo platters waiting for you on the tray. If you know, you know. If you don't, then to be on the quick with it. For Hulk, any light attack can combo into any medium attack, or any light can combo into a heavy. However, a medium cannot combo into a light, nor a medium into a heavy, and a heavy can't combo into a medium or a light. You got all that? All it is light to medium or light to heavy. That's it for comboing into other normals on the ground. But any normal, whether light, medium, or heavy, can be canceled into a special. That is the gist of it. But to reel it out for you, is some ground peppering with those inputs. Alright, now as far as some hops go, jumping in for a combo, you could usually go from light to heavy. The number of hits you can string together depends upon how many you can nail before you land, and then roll into some groundwork. In this case, the height of an opponent does play a factor. Taller bodies, more hits. Shorter, less. We ain't even messing with you. You don't count. Yeah, how about that real? So there's the basics. You don't even need a lot of hits to get it done with Hulk. I know you're thinking, there's more to it, right? Well, let's answer that question with another question. So, do you believe in magic? When you launch an opponent in the air, you have the opportunity to perform something called an air magic series. Usually, this is accomplished in its most basic form, with a light to medium to heavy ender, which, like the Gamma Tornado, depending where you are to the corners, can cause a flying screen. You can also catch an opponent in midair with one, raw, but more than likely, you're going to stand in roundhouse or OTG into this. If you want to truly optimize the air magic, then it's this version. However, if you're worried about consistent execution timing, this one will work just fine. Real quick, let's compare the damage of the optimal one and the easier one. There's really only about a 2% difference, but one missed input after the first hit, and you lose 10% damage that you could have had about 8% of. So it's up to you what you want to try for in the heat of the moment. Wait a minute. I did mention something special about that clap early in the first part, didn't I? Oh, it's coming. Matter of fact, it's tacked on to the next section. So just lean back and relax as Ringmaster Robert brings you a very special presentation of The Sauce Show. Man, you really don't need to hear my flapping on this. The Incredible One's gonna let the moves do the talking while I get to walking. AFK, BRB when the time comes. Yo ho! Serve it up, son. And freeze. Now what was that? Let's play that again. Huh. It almost looks like Hulk skipped the clap animation, doesn't it? Well, yeah, he did. This is a move we like to affectionately call the thigh clap. And the funny thing about it, this is the only game he can do that in. But okay, what's the benefit if not just to look kinda neat? Well, the closer to the ground you perform a clap, as some Hulk players know, there's a chance you can skip a lot of recovery for that move. It also allows you to try to bait a DP up to the last possible moment and leave them wide open. The opponent still has to block standing for this, and if they don't, when you land, because of their recoil from the clap, you get a nice sized frame window to go right into a combo, like a so. Yeah, clap it, slap it, dab it, fab it. So we wouldn't call this meta game changing, by any means. But you'll certainly have some players guessing if you consistently show you can clap this out. And even just as a hand-eye coordination practice, hell, it's pretty fun. Hulk was still in the middle of his combo parade, wasn't he? I'ma just, oh, you babe. And this is just the tip of the Emerald Iceberg. Well, to run it all back, so far you filled up on everything from mobility to defense and the ever-satisfying table of offensive options with the big man himself. So, now what? Now, you fight. Because what comes next is a gauntlet of opponents just waiting to prove that you chose the wrong character to rep your play. Next time, it's you and Hulk versus the world. And there ain't nothing left but the smashing. Bruh.